Today it's time for a final mock-up of the suspension height. I got the rear end temporarily welded in place. The front end is fixed at the ride height. With the rear, I just tack welded in the rear section and then put a brace in the front, and then made a temporary strut to simulate ride height, so I can still cut it if I want to lower it. And that way there I can know where the ride height's got to be, because I can still raise the frame, the subframe up on the frame and cut away. So I'll know if I want to lower it 2 more inches, I just need to raise the subframe up 2 more inches. But I didn't want to set it too low at this point until I know exactly where I want the rake of the truck in the front to be. Those coilovers on the front, and they're adjusted all the way tight, so it won't drop, but it also won't go up any higher when I put it on the ground. I just welded in some very temporary bracing to make the frame stiffen up so the front of the front fenders and the front bumper don't move. So at least now I can put it on the ground and just see what it looks like. And I can still cut things and adjust things if I don't like it. So I'm going to put the wheels on the back, let's set it on the ground and just see where we're at. Now the truck's on the ground. I think it's pretty good. I was at first thinking it's too low in the front. Concerned about speed bumps and potholes. But it's no lower than the Mustang, the stock, at stock ride height. And I knew the rear end was a little high as far as the ride height. It was going to be a little higher than the front. But the funny thing is, my original concept was to keep that body line crease in the middle of the body parallel with the ground, and then have just enough rake so it looks like it's angled down but the body line is straight and parallel with the ground. And actually it came out perfect. So I think it's pretty good. I don't really care for this cross member. It's really low to the ground, but that's the factory geometry from the Mustang. So you can't, there's not much I can really do about it. I don't want to start monkeying with that. And it's actually not much lower than the truck transmission cross member. So it's not that bad, actually. I guess it's just hard to mentally get over the fact that it was so high as a truck, and now that it sits like a car, it's a lot lower. But I mean, I got plenty of clearance for tires. I got plenty of clearance for the front turning, although I think on, driveways and full lock turns and hitting a bump, it's going to probably hit a little bit, but I can clearance a little bit with the fenders. It's about a 1.5 degree or less rake, which isn't too bad. So I'll keep looking at it. The other thing I was wondering is how high the seat would be and getting in and out, and so I took the bench out, put this Mustang in just temporarily just to see. I mean, I think the height will be good. The steering wheel's got to go. It's just like too big, and I don't need it that big. So that'll be something else to take care of. But I think overall, I'm pretty happy with how it's laying out so far. I don't know what's going on here. The right front strut assembly is taller, or sits higher than the left front. So I think that must be just collateral damage from the accident from the original Mustang these parts came out of, because the truck sits fine. And you know, this stuff is kind of irrelevant because it's all going to be, you know, built from scratch anyway, so I can square it up and, you know, make the heights proper. So not too worried about that. So we'll see. This is good. I think I'm going to just go with this, and then now I can start taking the body off and then building the frame. So stay tuned.